Hey guys, I am recording this message because I want to be honest with you. And I want to share with you the fact that I am really struggling in a way of being centered and staying centered in peace during these turbulent times. I have to be honest that when my friend gave me these vibrating slippers to wear while visiting him, thanks Alex, I said yes, even though I didn't know how to turn them off yet, because I hadn't practiced experiencing and exploring them yet. And so they felt just fun and novel to me, except now it's an opportunity to reset the patterning, because these shoes are someone else's and they have been worn and patterned and compressed down in the way that that person's groove was. Whenever they walked, they made a different impression on the shoes that then defined the shape of it, until now me, someone else who is different, thinking of leadership and presidency and how each of the presidents and prime ministers and leaders of countries and companies and households, how each of them leave their own energetic stamp, and how until you actually know the stamp, you don't feel safe. And even when you do come to know it, and then suddenly you find that it is something entirely other than what you bought for your entire life, and your entire world starts to crumble like the dog that barks right in the moment that I acknowledge that truth. When I start moving my body, because there is energy that is ready to flow, and it shows up as emotion, energy in motion, E, capital, hyphen motion. Energy is meant to be in motion, guys. We are not meant to sit at home and twiddle our thumbs and look at each other and get down and dirty in the bedroom because it's easier to bond and connect and externalize our frustrations than it is to sit with ourselves and actually go within to find the peace that only can be found within. Jesus Christ was one of our forefathers who came before us to sow within us the history of his story. He came here to show us what was possible when we believed in the power of the Holy Spirit, the Father, Son, the Mother, the One. That he was, that they say they're waiting for. Well, what if he is already seated in you? What if the Bible actually was a basic instruction manual that all should read before leaving Earth? Bible, before, or basic instructions before leaving Earth. I've never read the Bible. It turns me off. In fact, when I lived in England, I was heavily involved with the John Maxwell team because I'm a founding member. And then I dated a faculty member for 4 years. And then I sold the program for a year and a half. I have been heavily involved and connected to high leadership, to understand what leadership is and what it is not. And now I do figure eights with my feet, not because I was meaning to, but because I noticed what I was doing. And then I spill coffee on myself, because that is oftentimes what's happening when we start to distract ourselves from the moment by externalizing it, like the ones who go to the bedroom or go to the fridge, which I do a lot. I cook more for me and Papa. Like, we have to just start understanding the patterns. And we also have to give thanks to the ones who have listened for this long and who are intrigued and see the value of what I have to say. My name is Laura J. I've been on the spiritual path for longer than I haven't, as a mystic without a monastery, except for I do have a monastery. It is my own self. As is your body. It is a temple your soul chose to incarnate into this life in, to experience and express yourself as the one, the grand overall designer, the Messiah, who has owned the mess I am, which is how we ground the H into an M. Take it down, brothers and sisters. Hey guys, I wanted to finish this message and simply invite you to connect so that we can unite
even if it is only in this virtual realm where we are able to connect common ideas with a common faith foundation, not because we need to have the same dogmatic texts as the belief system that we subscribe to, but simply because we choose to live a virtuous life and do our best. That we subscribe to the soulful inner warrior's practice, which is to turn within. It is to speak impeccably with our word, to be impeccable with our word, to not take anything personally, to always do our best, and to not make assumptions, which are the 4 agreements that Damagao Ruaz suggests in his sacred work that I would highly recommend, the 4 agreements, a Toltec wisdom guide. Everywhere we go, we pick up different pieces of the puzzles. We need to understand that each of us have our own, and that we will share them in different times. And when we come across those sharings of others and ourselves, we also have to understand that we are showing up to that moment ready to extract from it what we need, and then we can leave the rest. We don't have to take all of it. So whatever you got from that message that I was sharing, despite the vibration that was potentially distracting, you take that and you leave the rest and realize that that is enough, because you are enough, and that you don't have to become something more than you already are. You just remember who you always were, and then things start to fall into place. But we are really in a time where self-expression is required, that we have to clear our throat of the past in order to move forward with what is possible. So I hope to see you in a Facebook community called A Space Where Misfits Fit, Home for Soulful Seekers. And I'll be sharing more insights and opportunities with you very soon.